Hello, everyone, and I want to welcome you to today's live event. I'm really thrilled to introduce you to a truly inspiring guest today, Dr. Glenda Bradstock. Now, Dr. Glenda is a highly experienced doctor of chiropractic and functional nutritionist. And today, Dr. Glenda is here to help us kick off the exciting launch of her new co authored book, For the Love of Transformation. Now, this powerful collection it's really set to launch on September 28th and 29th, and it features the wisdom of many incredible authors. And it's all about unlocking your true potential and transforming your life. So, Dr. Glenda is going to share key insights from the book, as well as her personal journey of helping people overcome burnout, rediscover their health, and live with a purpose. Now, trust me, you'll want to stay with us until the very end because we've got some incredible tips and stories that just might spark your own transformation. So, get comfortable and get ready for a conversation that could change the way you see yourself and your life. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Glenda Bradstock. Hello, Dr. Glenda. How are you?
Good, good.
Now, I'm in Mexico, Dr. Glenda. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm in northern Texas near Dallas.
Uh-huh. Now, were you born there?
I grew up in Dallas. I went to all the public schools, and then my oldest sister convinced my parents to send me to Hockaday, and I got the thrill of applying myself in school and ended up going to Mills College, a women's college on the West Coast, and I really enjoyed that. I've gone to other schools since, of course, when I got my PhD.
Mhm.
But yeah, I grew up in Dallas, and my sister was having children, and that's what brought me back. I thought, I don't want to miss this.
Right.
I want to be there for the kiddos.
Right. I know it's always that way. Family, family comes first for all of us. So I want to, I want to talk about you and I have been friends for quite a few years. We've even done pilgrimages together,
Right.
and we have a great mentor in common, Mary Morrissey. But today we're here to talk about one of your latest accomplishments. So let's start. So, may I call you Glenda or Dr.
Sure.
Glenda?
That's my
Glenda. Okay. So, you've been transforming lives for over 40 years. That much I know. What inspired you to want to co-author For the Love of Transformation? And I also want to know how this book built on your life's work.
Well, I discovered Roger Love at an
Mhm.
odd time in my life. I had been diagnosed with vocal paralysis. My voice had given up. I sounded kind of like this. I never knew if I was going to be squeaky or normal. And so I just really did not open my mouth much and or talk for about 6 months. And then when it kind of came back, it was very weak. And I just happened, as life will do, I found him on the internet and I thought, I will listen to this guy. And he was so inspiring. I then joined one of his groups and I got some coaching from him. And he gave us vocal exercises for speaking as well as singing. There are two different types. And so I did that over a period of time and I got the strength of my voice back. And I was so impressed by him as a mentor, the way he coaches people. He was always encouraging. He was always very supportive, never terribly critical, always had the answer to for you to improve yourself. So when the opportunity arose to join him, co-authoring a book, I said, sure, I would love to do that.
Wow. So really in that book, and I'm going to repeat the name because I want everybody to know what this book is called, For the Love of Transformation. You and the co-authors discuss really the power of the voice. and you just talked to us about how he helped you with your voice at one point when you were having difficulty. Now, can you explain how Roger Love's vocal method plays a role in personal transformation?
The book actually has a number of different stories about physical trauma,
Mm-hmm.
emotional trauma,
It's
voice
amazing.
trauma, and how different people found their way back home, recovered from that kind of upset. And it's very inspiring. And it gives you some ideas about how these people hung on to hope, transformed their lives,
Mm.
and became someone better than they ever dreamed of being. And I'm reminded of Napoleon Hill. He says, in every heartbreak and every adversity, there's always a seed of a greater good, a better benefit. And that reminds me of a patient that I had at one point. He was bent over with spondylolisthesis, where you bend over and arthritis occurs and kind of
Mm-hmm.
um, fuses the bones together in your spine. Not totally, but the spurs pretty much keep you from standing up straight.
Right. I want
And
to.
at one point, he actually tripped and fell down a flight of stairs on his back. And when he got to the bottom, he thought, oh no, I've ruined myself forever. And when he stood up, some of those spurs had broken loose.
Oh, wow.
So he began to use enzymes and exercise and changed his foods and helped him continue to improve. It was a happenstance when he fell down the stairs, but the rest of it was a plan. And our bodies are born to heal. They know how to heal.
Mm-hmm.
They know when to start and when to stop. And if you give them the right ingredients, our bodies know how to rebuild themselves. They have remarkable capacity to regain health.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know if you believe in God or infinite intelligence or whatever, but yeah, I do believe that the body is a awesome machine. I mean, I just cannot believe the fact that we continue breathing and our heart keeps beating, it's like it's not, it has nothing to do with my wanting it to. It just does, it's unbelievable. It's just, it's beyond me. I know that you've worked with people experiencing chronic burnout and I can't see this word. People who are exhausted. Now, what parallels do you see between health recovery and the maybe the transformative journey outlined in the book?
Okay, before I answer that, let me just speak to the platform here. I see you. I don't see me.
Oh,
Is
okay.
the audience seeing both of us?
I see you. Definitely for sure. Let me just check something. I think everything is okay. Performance settings. I'm just going to check something. Yeah. So okay. I'm just checking. Folks, it's always a little bit of techie stuff
Oh,
that we.
it's great when it works in your favor.
When it works in your favor, it's great. And so, yeah. So, yeah, I see both of us. So, as far as I
I
know,
you. So, but that's a good. That's fine.
now the bar down below, if you want to hit that the four squares, and you'll
It
see.
actually doesn't work that way anymore. Oh, now I see. Okay, let's see. Wait, let's see. Okay, now what do you see? Do
I
you
see
see
both.
me?
I see both of us. Uh-huh.
Okay, I see you on top of me.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just leave it at oh, now I just see me. Let's see.
You know,
Oh, now
that's,
I see it. Now we're side by side. Yay. Okay, that's
that's
good.
very funny.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Yeah, I was talking about you being very experienced with working with people who have chronic burnout and people who are exhausted all the time. And the question was, what parallels do you see between, health recovery and the transformative journey outlined in the book?
Well, I think we get discouraged. We lose hope.
Mhm.
And I know one thing, that whenever I'm wanting to go somewhere, I go in my mind first. And I always encourage a patient to tell me what they want to do when they get well. I want to put their thinking in the future. I encourage them to maybe create a vision board where they take pictures from their life or a magazine and put them together so that it's in a collage and they can see that every day. So it keeps their mind thinking about the future and the possibilities. And that's what happens in that book. Every one of us, we had some sort of upset, whether it was severe or minor or just some bad thoughts from childhood that we needed to recover from. Um, we need to keep our eye on the prize, where we want to go. You have to have a map in order to get to your destination. And that's what I encourage patients to do. And that's what a lot of the authors in the book refer to. They refer to where they were going to go and how they got there. And you have to make a plan and stick to the plan, because, as Mary Morrissey says, you're going to live your life anyway.
That's right.
You can live it by design or by
By
default.
default.
If
Right.
you do
Exactly.
not take charge of your life, someone else probably will.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you talk about the mindset, because I have a vision board. I have what I call the vision board on steroids, and I use a text tool that I've uploaded all the images of all the people that I admire, all the
Mm.
people that I love, all the people that I would love to be, places I'd love to go, people I love. And I look at that every day. And that's just one of the things that I do to get myself in peak state. I'm having difficulty talking today. I don't know. Sometimes perhaps it's too much coffee. Anyway, and I find it very, very important to have that mindset. And the fact that you need to know where you are, and you need a roadmap to know where you're going, because otherwise everything's kind of a blur. So I totally get what you're saying. So would you tell me, what is one of the most maybe powerful transformation that you've witnessed? You've already spoken about one person, either through your practice or the principles in this book.
Well, I can speak to my own transformation. I grew up really healthy, athletic, played knockdown football with 16 guys in the neighborhood, climbed trees to run away when they tried to chase me. And I was just a go-getter kind of girl, and was a varsity swimmer. I was on track. I skied, I water skied. And what got me into chiropractic was that I was in a severe accident, and the doctors just didn't offer me. They said, "Here, take these pills." And if it hadn't been for me meeting a chiropractor and seeing how they could transform people's lives and get them back to normal, I would never have thought to go to chiropractic school. My father was a doctor, my mother was a nurse, but it never occurred to me to go into medicine for some reason. Um, so that was one big transformation in my life. It was kind of like God said, "Nope, not that way, this way."
Right.
And so I pursued that career. And then after being in practice, I had two buildings, two practices. Everything was going great. And then I happened to go for some pain management injections. And the poor doctor, bless his heart, I'm sure it almost gave him a heart attack. He accidentally injected me with a very caustic solution that he should never go where he put it. And it burned the fatty coating on the nerves of my body and my legs and from about the waist down. So I couldn't walk, and because the muscles just weren't responding, the nerves weren't able to do what they were supposed to do from the very beginning. And when I refused to believe that I walked in for a 45-minute procedure and I was going to be sitting down for the rest of my life, because that's what they told me. They wheeled me in to a psychiatrist to have me talk to this person to help me accept the fact that this is where I was going to end up.
Oh my God.
I looked over at my mother, I shook my head and I said, we need to get out of here, because I didn't want them telling me this over and over. And I fear for people that go places and they're told there's no hope or you just have to live with it. If I hadn't been stubborn and determined and had a wonderful life before that, I might have just said, oh, okay, I'm going to be disabled and gone on with it. But I just refused. And I took, thank goodness, I already had my degree and I had nutritional experience and super knowledge. And I had tons of friends that were doctors and we all were doing research. And I discovered that there had been experiments, horrible, during the Nazi times, where they would paralyze twins and see how long it took to get them back with the same chemical that he used on me. And I found out I had 6 months to rebuild the myelin sheath. It kind of, I don't think about this every day, but anyway, I rebuilt the myelin sheath. I proved every single one of the doctors wrong. I had leg braces. That's how bad it was. And I just went from the wheelchair to the walker with braces on my legs to, walking with a cane to walking with no support, just my own body. And part of it was nutrition. Part of it was exercise. A lot of it was meditation and keeping my hope and my mind clear. And I did a lot of visualization. I would visualize, I love the beach. I love the ocean. I think it's so rejuvenating. And I would visualize myself walking on the beach, running on the beach, playing with my dog on the beach, swimming in the oceans against the waves, body surfing on the beach. And I did that over and over daily. I would spend time physically active in my mind with my body. And slowly I rebuilt. I came back from it. And I don't run races anymore, but I can walk and nobody can tell anything ever happened to me.
Oh my God, no, I could never tell, because I was with you just recently when we were on a pilgrimage. I never would have known. I never knew that story. Oh, that is a wild story. Oh my God, I can't believe. But the power of visualization is amazing. As you're talking, I'm thinking of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I mean, what he went through. It's almost, it's a likely story. It's unbelievable what people can do with their mind. It's unbelievable, really.
Well,
Now,
we have a doctor here in Dallas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that would help patients with cancer. He had a young boy that had brain tumors, and he would talk to him about Star Wars in his brain, shooting those tumors and blowing up the problem. And this kid got through it all. I mean, our minds are so powerful and our bodies are so capable. We just have to give it what it needs and stay hopeful. And mindset, you mentioned mindset before. Yes. Mindset is so important. And, a lot of people are raised not with very much encouragement, and they need to discover what it is, to always hold out hope. There's always a new day. And the truth is that you can do anything. My father used to say this: you can do anything you want. If you can read and you can put yourself to use, you can do whatever you want in life. And that's how I grew up, and that's how I live my life, and that's how I encourage my patients. They might have been told a lot of negative things from other practitioners before they got to me. I get a lot of hopeless cases. In fact, they even bring their dogs that have been hit by a car to help me help get them back. And I did have one male dog that ended up siring a litter. So there's hope in all kinds of ways. And so anyway,
That's amazing. The strength of, what you believe you can achieve. I'm thinking of Napoleon Hill, and then you said something very interesting. What you put into your body, what you feed your body. Because food is our medicine, is it not? I mean, it's so important. I mean, people think that nutrition is not important. It's really very important as far as I know.
Well, it's striking in different cultures where they eat very different from Americans. Some of those people come to our country, adopt the American diet, the standard American diet, which, if you abbreviate or you take the first letters of those words, it's SAD,
Yeah.
standard American diet.
Yeah.
It's we've lived in the fast lane. We eat fast food. There's a lot of processed foods that we don't even know what all is in them. There's a lot of chemicals and preservatives, and it's just not, the body can't work with that. And too much of that then confuses the body. So it's good to step back from that and eat a more unprocessed diet, natural things with lots of colors. And especially, I didn't mention this, but water, water, water is so important, to drink enough water every day. A lot of people don't do that. I've had realtors that don't want to have to stop along the way and they don't drink water all day. And I say, you are just, it's better than a facelift. Drink water.
Isn't it important also when you're drinking the water to think that the water is going to help you? I mean, it's going to benefit every cell in your body, because it's not just drinking the water, but with the essence of thinking that the water is one of the things that is going to make every cell of your body, be vibrant and be healthy.
Well, I do agree that no matter what you do, if you think positive thoughts while you're doing it, I mean, if you were running a race and you thought all the while, oh, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose, you'll lose. Who was it? Einstein or Edison, maybe, that said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right. Exactly. So, this book talks about breaking free from limiting beliefs, because we all have them. So, someone who feels stuck in their life, how can someone who does feel stuck in your life take control and move toward positive change? I mean, what's the
Well,
first step they can take?
first of all, they need to step back and make sure, number one, they're getting proper rest and they have a routine. I think having a schedule and having, a structure in their life is just a basic beginning. And they need to look at the people they hang out with. If they're hanging out with people that don't have goals, don't have joy, don't have this or that, that's not where you want to hang out. I'm
Right.
sorry. I go to the senior center a lot. I take yoga there with a wonderful lady from India. And I meet people there that get up every morning, they get dressed up, they put on their jewelry. It gives them a lift every day to go up there. They meet their friends and they hang out with people that want to play cards or keep their mind active, want to do crossword puzzles, play pool, take classes, do quilting. You got to keep busy. You can't just let your mind be still.
It's so true. I witnessed this in my mother when she turned 93. She all of a sudden, I tried to get her into a senior citizen center so that she could, and she went one day and they were playing cards. She said, well, I don't like to play cards, and so I'm not going to join this center. But as a matter of fact, she didn't do anything. She would do crossword puzzles, and then all of a sudden her sight it became bad and she couldn't do that anymore. She loved to read, and all of a sudden she couldn't read anymore. And I could just see her deterioration happening. It was unbelievable. And basically, the year she died, she felt like she had no more purpose in life, you know. And that was a big major reason why. I mean, she actually said, I'm ready to go back to home. And I remember she was in the hospital at the I said to her, I said, Mom, we've had this conversation before. You know, even in your apartment, you said, I'm ready to go home. And I asked you what that meant because you were home. She said, well, you know, back to the person who created me, you know, to God, because she was, you know, she was a very strict Catholic. And so this happened in the hospital. And I said, well, what do you mean now? I said, we're having the same conversation. She says, oh, I said, so are you saying you're ready to go meet your creator? She says, oh, hell no. I just want to go back to my apartment.
Your mother sounds like a hoot.
It was very funny. It
Well,
was,
you know what else I found out? Later in life, I ended up having tinnitus and I ended up getting hearing aids. And one of the visits, I was reading a brochure and it explained how when people lose their hearing,
yeah,
they feel separate from the rest of people in the world. They can't hear, they feel out of the group. They are afraid they've misunderstood something. They're afraid they might misspeak, so they withdraw. And the more they withdraw, the more possibility there is of dementia.
yeah.
The brain needs to be stimulated.
It
It
really
needs
does.
activity to stay alert and sharp. So
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it in my brother-in-law, and I've seen it in a good friend of mine who very often doesn't come to events because she can't hear well. So, you know, I encourage her all the time to. So we do game nights and other things to make sure that she's there and you know, keeping the mind active, keeping those neurons firing.
absolutely. Sometimes retiring is the worst thing you can do, unless you've got a bunch of hobbies planned.
Right.
I have a friend that's retiring. She's an organizer. And you know what her plan is? To learn how to do technical scrapbooking on a computer. So
Wow.
she's going to take all of her photographs, all of her keepsakes, memorabilia, and put it together so that she can publish books and share it with other people. I think
Yeah.
that's fabulous.
Oh, that is just, you know, that's what my brother-in-law is doing. But I never thought about he could do a book to share with the rest of the family because that's what he does too.
That
And
would
that's
be great.
oh my God, that's a great idea. I'm going to have a talk with him for sure
All
soon.
right.
That's a great idea. So, for someone new to the concept of the vocal transformation, what's one simple exercise, maybe, or you know, we talked about mind shift, or that they can start using today to maybe see a difference?
Well, first of all, as Roger explains, your voice is an instrument.
Mhm.
It's a finely tuned instrument and it has melody and pitch and volume. So you need to be mindful. You need to record yourself sometime and listen to your voice because that's what other people are hearing. In fact, your voice comes out and wraps itself, the sound wraps itself around the other person, encompassing them. So you want to have, and if you want to have an encouraging voice or a happy voice, there are ways to achieve those
Right.
sounds. And of course, all of us, I don't know, I get in the habit of just doing the same old things all the time. And we don't really listen to what we're sounding like. And if
Right.
you do record yourself on your cell phone and listen back, it's a good thing to say, oh, I need more excitement, more melody,
Right.
more verb in my voice, or more excitement and punctuation. And he gives us vocal exercises and for speaking and singing to warm up our instrument. And I believe we spoke about this earlier. You know, the way you hold your mouth or drop your jaw, it helps to form the sounds coming out. And it's so important. He has a number of different classes that he does on the internet. He's taught everybody you've ever heard of practically in the singing industry, people that have to, movie stars that have to go on screen and sing. He's taught those movie stars how to sing, and people how not to lose their voice during long.
Tony Robbins, who is,
Oh yeah,
right. I mean,
yeah. And when he was 16, he was coaching the Beach Boys and the Jacksons. That's how profound this guy's talent is.
Well, that's amazing. That
Yeah,
is one amazing thing. Now,
the
you really, Glenda, you've empowered so many individuals to reclaim their health and purpose. So, what's the one key message you hope readers will take away from this book called "For the Love of Transformation"?
I hope they're encouraged. I hope it gives them a lifeline. If they're going through something hard, or just to have it in the back of their mind that all things are possible when you have hope. Um, it's just such an inspirational book. And there's so many different walks of life represented in it, and different instances of challenges, and how people rebounded, how people came back. And I gives me goosebumps when I think about some of the stories in this book. And I think it's going to be a good way for people to see people that overcame adversity, kept self-doubt and limiting beliefs out of the picture, and just kept looking to the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, and kept pressing forward, and became what they were hoping to become, and recover from whatever it was that got them down in the first place.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, you're launching this book on September 28th, I think, and 29th, right?
Right. And when you buy the book on the 28th and 29th, be sure and let's see, how does it go? You also get benefit of about $1,000 or more worth of bonuses. Each one of the authors either gave a free class that you can access on the internet, or um, a book that they've written, or other trainings that are available to you if you're inspired by their part of the book. And it's just amazing. You can, besides reading the book, you can benefit by other things that are offered, the bonuses that come with every chapter.
So it's worth the while to wait until you launch this book on the September 28th and 29th, right?
Yes, it is absolutely to go in, and on the 28th, it tells you how to do it on the book cover. The little picture there, that's
Actually, the call to action button on the bottom says book launch. If anybody who's listening, whether it's live or the replay, because these are still live on the replay, click that bottom button and it will give you all the information that you need to and the worthwhileness of waiting until September 28th or 29th to buy the book.
it's really important to wait until the 28th. It's going to come to you, and you'll be so excited. And I think you'll really enjoy the book and all of the inspiration and knowledge that it will give you.
Well, you know why I can't wait? Because September 28th is my birthday.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
September 28th. So, synchronicity is at work here. So I can't wait until that day to get my copy. And so, also, Dr. Glenda, if anybody is listening today and wants to contact you, I know I have that call to action button, the second button that says contact Dr. Glenda. You can just click that button and it will take you to the URL that you can actually contact Glenda if you perhaps need to make a discovery call or whatever it is, and just chat with her.
Yes. When you get to the website, it has a little box. If you want to ask questions or get in touch with me, you just address the issue there, and that will pop over to me, and then I will get back to you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you so very much, Dr. Glenda, for sharing your incredible wisdom with us today. I really enjoyed having you today. And For the Love of Transformation, it really is truly a must read for anyone seeking real, lasting change. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Thank you
And
so much for having me. I've enjoyed this.
Oh, you're very welcome. And to all of you watching, Now, if you're ready to take the next step on your journey of transformation, remember September 28th and 29th. Be sure to grab your copy of the book to get all those bonuses. And you don't even have to wait. Actually, if you click the call to action button below, the third one below, it will take you to the right place, and you won't forget to do that, to buy your book on that day. So I hope you found this conversation as inspiring as I did. Let me know if, actually, let me know in the chat whether you're joining us on the replay. And remember, I love featuring the fascinating stories of coaches, course creators, and entrepreneurs. So thanks again for joining us, Dr. Glenda. And until the next time. So keep shining and living your best life.
Absolutely. Thanks.
You're welcome.